殺したぐらいで俺が死ぬとでも思ったか
Power fantasy. By this point, I'm sure that I don't need to explain what it is because even if you don't know, the name is pretty self-explanatory. Now imagine a character who is so overpowered that you can't find him relatable at all, has little to no character development throughout the entire show. Today we talk about one of the most overpowered characters in the history of anime who could possibly be stronger than Goku or Saitama. The Misfit of Demon King Academy takes place in a totally unique world where magic and swords are a common thing. I'm sure you've never seen this type of world before, have you? For those of you who haven't seen the show before, let me quickly explain it, but for those of you who have seen it, think of this as a quick recap. Long ago, there was a war between humans and the demon race, and to make peace between the two races, the demon lord had given up his life to build a wall between the two races to prevent any future wars. And the prophecy left behind was that the demon king would be revived 2000 years later. Now in the present day, after 2000 years have passed, the demons are holding competitions in the academies in hopes of reviving the demon king's soul. Now this is where it gets tricky. The demon king Anos, world god, our main protagonist, is actually already awake, and people seem to have forgotten his name over the years and a different name has been passed over time. Basically, he is trying to prove to the world that he is the actual demon king and not some other random dude. And that's basically the plot of the show in a nutshell. This is more or less what happens in the show. The plot isn't the main star of the show, and as you know, it is about Anos trying to prove that he is in fact the actual demon king. Since this anime is an adaptation of a light novel, I was a bit surprised by the title, Misfit of Demon King Academy. It is such a short and snappy title, which is rare to see these days, especially in fantasy light novels. The anime shows the ongoing war between heroes and demons 2000 years later, even though it was supposed to have stopped. As I said before, in the Demon King Academy, the demons were trying to pick the new king, but since Anos is the actual one, it didn't really work. But in the Heroes' Academy, it was a bit different. You see, the original hero named Canon possessed 7 sources, and as long as even one remained, he can resurrect himself over and over again. But in the present day, his sources were distributed into 7 different people, so that means the chosen ones were already selected. With the world being divided into heroes and demons, it's a bit embarrassing to see how weak most of the heroes are in the Hero Academia compared to the students in the Demon Academy. The show mostly relies on its past of whatever happened 2000 years ago to somehow tie the events that took place during that time to the present day. But the show solved most of the problems between heroes and demons within its first season, so I'm kept there wondering of what crazy story the show will tell in the upcoming sequel. Now let's talk about Anos, world god, our main protagonist, can casually make girls fall for him. Anos is strong. He's in fact so strong that he casually likes to throw gigantic castles at people with his fingertips.
死ぬぞ
He has a very strong affinity for magic, and you'd be surprised by the vast knowledge he possesses considering he is very old, and he does constantly prove that, even if it may make others around him look a bit dumb. There are a lot of anime that have overpowered protagonists like One Punch Man, Syken, and Mob Psycho 100, and the common similarities between them are that the main characters are either a bit depressed or just bored because they themselves are too strong. I don't understand why they wouldn't want to enjoy themselves when they have so much power with them, but in the case of Anos, that is totally not the case. This man has a lot of power and he enjoys using it. This man is so arrogant that he isn't afraid of using his strength in public and has enough power to literally kill people with his heart.
像の鼓動だ
In most power fantasy anime, the characters don't know that they are overpowered and think that they are only slightly stronger than others, but Anos knows that there is literally no one stronger than him. Like, how many anime can you name that do this? There may be a few, but I can probably count them all on my fingertips, and as well as on my toes. The point that this show makes is that since there are so many power fantasy anime where the characters are so insanely overpowered, why not make a parody based on that? And this is exactly that, and it somehow works. Anos is one of the most badass characters I've seen in anime, and not to mention that he has his own literal fan club full of girls who made him his own anthem. He can make his fan club to sing his anthem on command.
ファンユニオ歌え
One of the best things about this anime is how absurd the dialogues can get. Like, take this for example.
世界の法則になったぐらいで俺が従うとでも思ったか
In this fantasy world, instead of hearts, the people have something called souls, which if destroyed completely destroys the person, including their soul. So it would make sense that no matter how strong the person is, they are still vulnerable to the soul, and this applies for humans as well. But Anos, being the badass that he is, he somehow finds a loophole to counter that weakness, which is just crazy, but at that point, I wasn't even surprised anymore.
根源が滅んだくらいで俺が蘇らぬと思ったか
Now, as with any power fantasy anime, you either have cute anime girls or a harem. This has both, which is not in the least bit surprising to you, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. The girls are really cute and his two main love interests are sisters, and let me tell you one interesting fact about them. His lovers, Sasha Necron and Misha Necron, are actually older than him and not just by a few years. I previously told you that he was 2000 years old, but I was talking about when he was still the Demon King before he got reborn. In the present day, he is only months old and he already has two girls falling for him. I have mad respect for him. Wait, did I say two girls? I actually meant three, but that's all you need to know for now. This anime is easily one of the best power fantasy shows out, and the emphasis is on power. I just can't get enough of the show, and I'll probably keep rewatching it multiple times before the sequel comes out. The animation quality isn't bad, and it definitely does stand out from your typical action seasonal shows. Some of the fights just reach on levels so crazy that shouldn't even be possible. And you know how I said that considering that this is a light novel title, the title isn't very long? That was for the English translation. What you're seeing right now is the actual Japanese title, and my god is it long. Also, while we're on the topic of books, the manga author of this light novel, Haruka Sensei, has sadly passed away due to some sort of pancreatic disease. All in all, this is a pretty solid show considering it's seen as hot garbage, which it is, and so far I haven't seen many bad reviews or comments regarding this show, which just goes to show that people enjoy these types of anime. A lot of crazy things happen throughout the show, and I just love how it does everything so casually. This is a good show to watch if you just want to sit back, relax, and watch some mindless power fantasy anime. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more great content. Comment down below on what you want to see next. As always, I'll see you guys next time.